Welcome to Off Brand by Coco Kind. I'm Priscilla Tsai, Coco Kind's founder and CEO, and each week I get into the real, unfiltered side of building a brand alongside our community and creating substantive beauty products. We don't believe in trying to be anyone but ourselves, and we don't think you should either. So come along as we get real and imperfect, go deeper on topics most beauty companies won't, and get a bit off brand. Welcome everybody back to Off Brand by Coco Kind. I'm really excited because we have our first creator here on the podcast. This is Kristyn Hoffman. We are actually in Vegas right now.
In my home city.
And we are here because we actually are taking our whole team to Vegas, and we're here for 3 nights. I haven't been here for 3 nights in a long time. We have like all these activities and doing all types of things. But usually we do our team retreats in San Francisco, but the team for like many years has been asking like, hey, can we do somewhere else? And so we said that if we had the year that we wanted to have, that we would take the team to Vegas. And actually, it's really affordable to fly from the Bay Area to Vegas. Like when we looked up flights, it was like $110.
Yeah.
So it was like not that bad, you know, but it is definitely a treat. So we're happy to be here. So
you guys are here.
And one of the first things I thought about was like coming to chat with you because I've been wanting to have like creator representation on this podcast. And I actually just interviewed our first customer on the podcast, Britta. Do you know Britta? Yeah, you know Britta.
I remember Britta from Napa.
Exactly.
She went on the Napa trip and I just remember her because she had so much content and it was all so good. And you could tell she's like your number one fan.
Yeah, and what I love about Britta, and I told her this, is that the fact that she's so her, you know, and like she inspires me because she's just always like just feels so genuine, and I think she inspires other people to be genuine too, and just like yourself, right? But I wanted to also bring on really over the next period of time with our podcast, we just want to have like different people from our community. Of course, we had Maria and Mimi from our team talking about PD. I think next week we'll have PD too, talking about a new product. But of course, like creators are so important to what we do. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions as it relates to like what it's like being a creator, even that I might not know fully, you know, and I mean, I can guess, and I have obviously, you know, I'm friends with so many creators, but just really like to break it down for people because we do have a lot of people in our community that are trying to be creators, you know, or aspiring content creators, or maybe aspiring to be full-time content creators where they might be like just starting out or, you know, about to go full-time or trying to make that jump. So I think it'd be good to actually break that down to people, just like the real of what it's like to be a creator, an influencer, what it's like working with brands, like your journey, etc. Like when people ask you what you do, what do you say?
I say that I'm a content creator online, and it goes a couple different ways.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Sometimes people are like, oh, like OnlyFans? I'm not kidding. I've had that happen so many times, especially in this city. I'm like, no, I just talk about skincare and makeup. And normally people are pretty cool about it, but I feel like the topic of content creation is people are either there for it or they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You either understand it and you completely respect it, you know, or you think it's like some like made up thing that everybody wants to do that you're just getting paid tons of money to do, basically.
Yeah. And it's so much more than that. And I am still so new to the space. Yeah. So I'm still like learning every day.
Totally. Can you tell us about like your journey of like when you got started? And I feel like we met like 2 years ago. It hasn't been. It feels like
we met last year, but it feels longer than that.
Are you serious?
We met last year. I think we met at the peptide launch, the peptide eye cream.
That's the first time we met?
You guys brought me out there and it was that's when we met at that cute event.
I did not realize that was because it feels like it's been much longer than that.
Yeah, no, that was last September.
Yeah.
Right?
And let me just introduce Kristyn too before you go into your journey. Like Kristyn, you really are one of the most impactful creators we have in our community. And, you know, we always talk about like our community as a whole, which is customers, but also includes creators too. And without creators, like I would say, we wouldn't be here. And it's like really important for us to really like nourish and understand the creator community at Coco Kind. And I think what was so important that I really believe you really started was this idea of talking about accessible skincare, because previous to you and like, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, is really only about like Sephora brands.
Yeah.
And like really expensive, or, maybe some like dermatologist brands that are like a little bit more mass.
Right.
But really like making accessible skincare cool and like breaking down the, kind of mentality that like more expensive is better. That's, I feel like, what you started, So, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been crazy. I'll say the person who made me want to start content creation was Wendy. Wendy Skin. And Wendy was the first person to introduce me to Coco Kind, the oil to milk cleanser.
Yeah.
So I would watch her back in 2020, like pandemic time, everything shut down.
Yeah.
Watching Wendy all the time and just really getting into skincare. I went to esthetician school in 2021, got that background, and then was working. The reason I live in Vegas is because I was working as a professional dancer here.
Yeah.
Working on the Strip every single night. And so I would go to school during the day and then go work as a dancer at night and on different shows. So then after esthetician school, I was working as a dancer, as a part-time esthetician, taking private clients. And then that was in 2022. And then I told myself in 2023, I'm going to go all in on content creation, because it had just been something that I was watching everybody do online. And I was like, I love skincare so much. Totally. I don't know why I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
The aspect of getting free product too was very appealing to me. So I was like, I'm just going to like see what happens. So I told myself in 2023, right when January starts, I'm going to post every single day, 3 to 5 videos a day.
Yes. Oh my God.
And I did that.
Yeah.
I would film all day, post everything. Like I would film, post, film, post, film, post. Like I was not keeping anything in my drafts. I was just posting as I go. I still do that. And so, and then beyond that, posting all my content. Then I was on Instagram DMing all my favorite brands.
Yeah.
Just being like, I'm an aspiring creator. I would love to work with you. I would love to try your products. Like just DMing who I could. Yeah. Trying to really put myself out there. And so brands would get back to me. Some would send me PR. Some would say that they didn't have space on their PR list. And it was, it was a lot of months of that. And then I started doing gifting collaborations. Did a lot of gifting collaborations, which was good because that's how I learned what that relationship is with the brand.
Right.
So
and you, by gifting collaborations, it was like basically like brands would gift you and then you would like do a post.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like, we have this vitamin C serum. We would love to gift it to you in exchange for a post.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of that.
Yeah.
Which like I said, it was so great for me to like learn what that relationship was with a brand, because I had no idea. I remember the first collaboration I ever did. They were like, if you could send us over a concept, and I made a full PowerPoint because I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
So I made a full PowerPoint. It was like 10 slides long and sent it to them. And they were like, oh, like, we didn't need all that, but like, thank you.
Yeah, they're like, great. Here's your product.
Yeah, here's your brief. Yeah, and here's your product. Yeah. But like
follows.
I had no idea what that was.
Totally.
So I did a lot of that. And then eventually I started, growing, getting a little bit of a following. But I will say like it happened fast for me, but at the same time, it feels like it happened really slow because it was so much work and time I was putting into it.
Yeah. I mean, 3 to 5 videos, like how long does it take you to shoot 3 videos a day? Back
then, I feel like I could fly through videos. Now I feel like I'm more like nitpicky about things. Yeah, so if I'm like in the zone, I can film pretty fast. Yeah. But back then, I mean, I want to say I would film like 6 videos in a day. Yeah. And it was nothing.
And would you think of these concepts like every day you'd be like, these are the concepts? Or it's like every day I'm doing a get ready with me. Every day I'm doing like a get ready with me for bed. And then like, I just like think about these other 2 concepts of like affordable body care. Like, or would you just kind of like decide?
Whatever popped into my brain, I would do. Yeah. And like, I would do a lot of get readies with me because I had to do my makeup for my shows. Yeah. But or I would like be obsessed with the product and I would talk about it. Yeah. Yeah. And then people start commenting. They're like, hey, can you do this for combo skin? Can you, share XYZ? And then you get more ideas that way once you start building a community. But yeah, it took a second. So can I ask too, like in the beginning, like very beginning, were you buying products yourself? Like before you were getting sent PR? Yes.
So was that like what was the spend like? Like, did you feel like you had to invest a lot? Because a lot of people are just starting out. And so for them to build their channels, like they also have to like buy products to review. Like, did you feel like you had to spend a lot of money to do that? I will say like it kind of was, it would ebb and flow because I sometimes would get so excited. I would go into Ulta and see all these new launches and I would do like a big haul. Right.
And yeah, I did feel like I was spending a lot of money. But then I also was such an advocate and am still for affordable skincare. So I was only picking up stuff that was
more affordable.
Yeah. And I also had a big collection of skincare from when I was like in esthetician school. And I would like, that's when I spent the most money. It was because I wanted to try everything.
Right.
And so I always say, like, for people who are wanting to get into this, you don't need to necessarily go out and buy all the new products. Use what you have and use what you genuinely like and talk about that. You don't need to spend all your money on these new products. I know it's appealing. I know it's enticing, but like you don't need to do that.
Yeah, totally. So then talk to me about like, so then you started to get some free PR. Like when did it get, so that must have been exciting, but then when did it get old? Was it like really quickly where you're like, okay, like I'm good with it? Or like how long did it stay really fun to get like PR?
It stayed really fun for a really long time because I'm literally living my dream job. So it's still like I still have these crazy pinch me moments, but I will say probably like when I was moving from my condo to my new house, I was like, this is a lot and I don't know what to do with all this. Like I want to keep it all, but like I can't. And it's also, I'm so grateful for PR. I will never not be grateful for PR, but the idea of it blows my mind.
Yeah, totally.
You know, like how all of these free products can get sent to like thousands of creators. So the whole idea is just mind blowing to me.
Yeah, I mean, it is so wild, like the PR boxes and like, it's like when I, as a brand, when we look at like all the PR that gets sent to people, it is like, it does honestly sometimes feel defeating because I'm like, well, how can we like stand out, you know, when there's like 40 boxes and even if someone only has 10 boxes or 5 boxes, like it's still like a lot. And so, and then I think about people actually trying, like deciding to open it up and try it. And it just feels really overwhelming, you know, even as like a viewer or as a brand on this side.
Right.
And so then I can totally understand why brands are constantly on this rat race to try to stand out.
100%.
To do like these ridiculous like bubble machines and like
I got a money gun.
Yeah.
I got a money gun. Well,
like
I was like, this is crazy.
Did it have real money?
No, it had fake money. Bethany Frankel is on the money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really funny.
Yeah.
Was it, she did a
It was Bethany and Nina Poole did Emco Beauty and they sent out a money gun and it was just like crazy.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate like, not that I think all PR packages are, there's a lot of thought put into them, but I feel like you guys are so intentional with your PR packages. Like when I just got the blurry makeup bag, it was such a surprise. I didn't know that was coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that was really exciting because it's a brand, you know, I love this brand and I love Lippy, I love Blurry. So it was just like fun.
And that bag is so useful. I have it with me. I literally put like 30 like skincare and makeup products in there on the way here. And I
saw
fit
it.
everything here, which is so nice.
I can't wait to break it in.
It's very, very like useful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's like the PR of it all. I think about like the drops that we have and, you know, sending it out to people and we want to like involve our community in that. But at the same time, it's like, you know, we're trying to figure out how to make it like exciting and useful, not wasteful, but there's always room to improve on that, you know, and sometimes we're like, okay, we sent that out and honestly it wasn't that interesting to people. So we need to like not do that. And, you know, it's just kind of like learning, but definitely there's like in the beauty industry, it's like everybody's trying to stand out with PR. Yeah. But I don't think on one hand for new brands, I always say like still try to like send out PR. Like that's your best like avenue to try to get more awareness.
People talking about
it.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I think it's so hard to stand out, you know? And like as a small brand, when I was first starting out and I would DM an influencer to try a product, if they responded, like it would be like at that time there wasn't like these crazy PR hauls, so it would stand out because it'd be like the one, you know, package that showed up that week. Nowadays it's so hard.
Yeah, it's just the whole PR industry. It's really cool. It's as a creator, I'm not gonna say I don't like it. I love it, but it's just it blows my mind. Yeah, just the mailers that people are coming out with nowadays, and
Yeah, and I think also I see this discourse online about like people are constantly like, oh, I'm on this PR list or I'm on this PR list. And, you know, sometimes they're like emerging creators that are on these lists. And I think it's like, just know from the brand side too, it's like these brands have like thousands of people on their list sometimes,
Mhm.
you know, and it's like sometimes it's not even like honestly totally thought out if you're on the list or if you're not on the list. Sometimes it's just like this brand is like sending out a ton of PR and I don't know, you know, like it's like so I think it's like don't be offended if a brand says no.
100%.
Right?
If a brand says no, especially when I was starting out, I got no's constantly. Constantly got no's. And I was just like, okay, that's cool. Like in the future, I'll reach out again.
Yeah.
Cocaine was one of the first brands to send me PR.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
I got 2 ceramide serums.
Yeah.
And then it became my favorite.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just like with anything, it takes time to grow. And I don't even, I think now it's easier to get PR than when I started. Sure. I think they're way more generous with PR.
There's so many programs out there. We don't do this. Obviously, we do our free PR mailer drops for community, but there are so many programs for emerging creators where you can just sign up on like a website and like, it, you know, it's like, oh, just sign up here and you just have to post about it or mention in stories.
100%.
Brands are giving out thousands of boxes. You know, it doesn't matter your follower size or whatever. And I think that's really cool.
I do too.
But yeah, it's like there's definitely a lot of ways you can get PR these days. So it is like, yeah, it's on one hand, it's like a commodity, I feel like. On the other hand, it's like still very necessary, obviously, for people who are trying to be content creators.
For aspiring creators, 100%, because it just helps you have more things to talk about and review more things. And also, if I would have never been receiving PR, I would have never found some of my favorite products, most of my favorite products.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
It's a smart strategy for sure.
Yeah. Did you ever like send any like specific DMs or would it be like oh like you know kind of like a copy paste like thing?
I think I tried to personalize, like if it was a brand that I already knew and love, I would be like, hi, like I am such a big fan of your brand. I love this product, and this product.
Yeah.
But some were definitely copy paste.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because
totally.
I was sending to everybody. I was like, I'm going to get my name out there no matter what.
And brands do that too, right? Like we send out DMs to creators and like some of them are going to be copy paste. Some of them are going to be like, oh, we saw that you commented on Kristyn's video that you wanted to try the mist. So then we're like, you know what I mean? Like we might like, we try to have it be like more personalized, but sometimes it's copy paste too.
Right.
And also like every brand, like, you know, it's like you feel so dumb when like somebody reaches out and they're like, hey, can I get free PR? And you're like, oh, we don't have a space at this time. And then like 6 months later, this person's blown up on social. And then you have to go back and you're like, can we send you PR?
Yes.
You know, like that is such a true story. Of like every brand has to deal with that, right? Like you're just like, oh shit. Like, you're like, I wish I could unsend this DM where I'm sure that's happened to you before, where like brands who have rejected you are later like, hey, Kristyn, can you send it? You're like, oh, I just like if you just scroll up on this DM, you rejected.
But then I'm sitting there wondering, like, did they see that I reached out to them? Like last year, did they see that? I don't think I just think that brands are so busy in their socials too. I'm like, they can't be tracking all of this. You know?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's so funny. It's so real, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like if I like scroll up, I'm like, oh, like we asked this person like 4 years ago, and it's like no response. You know, and the same goes for brands. Sometimes we'll reach out to a creator, no response, and it'll be like seen like nothing, and then like we might launch something that like is getting a lot of buzz, and then it'll be like, oh, like at that time there's fun, and it's all normal because everybody, it's just it's like I feel like you can't get like hurt about it either way, right?
No,
because
also if you're doing that, if you're looking at what other people are having compared to you, content creation is going to get really old really fast because comparison is just
how do you deal with that? I mean, do you like
I definitely. It's really hard to say that I've never like looked at somebody and envied what they had, that I didn't. But I'm not just saying this, I really always try and check myself and be very self-aware and very grateful for the things that I do have. Yeah. Because I know that what I'm living right now is someone else's dream, you know? And I've just seen this so many times as like people start posting on social media and they don't get that like instant gratification and then they just quit. Yeah. And my view, when I started, for like months, I didn't pass like 1,000 views on all my videos. Like it took a really, really, really long time, but I was so like, I was just loving it. It was fun for me. Yeah. And I think that's another thing that is important to talk about. It's like, you actually have to enjoy the process of sitting down and recording, the editing. Which I don't love. Editing is
so real.
It's so real. Yeah. And then you know, putting yourself out there like that.
Yeah.
And you have to like look at yourself in the camera all the time, which
Totally.
I hate doing.
Yeah.
But that's my job now.
Totally.
So I just think like being genuinely passionate about what you're doing and doing it for an authentic reason, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think in general, I feel like people don't understand how much work goes into being a content creator. Like, just that it's like a full-on job. And in some ways, it's a job that like requires a lot of vulnerability, more so than honestly a typical job. Like, you're not going to, like, when you're at like an office job, hopefully you're at a place where it's like you're never going to be judged by the way you look. Well, not never, obviously this happens, you know, but hopefully the hope is, and you know, there's a lot of training for most workplaces to be like, you know, it's like the way you look, or, you know, whatever, what makeup you're wearing, anything, whatever, right? Like, but online, it's like, we all know, like, there's like just no boundaries like that for people. So the level of vulnerability it requires is real. And I think the other thing I think people don't realize is like how draining it can be to shoot content. We all have our like camera selves and our real selves. Like, it's sometimes it's like it's like, it's not that the camera self is not genuine. It's just that like, yeah, I'm not like talking like this to like my friend all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I still like here in front of a camera. Like we're camera aware. Yeah. So just like you have to turn it on a little bit, right? It's still yourself, but it's not like you're like walking around every day with the camera on like that. Yeah. And so then it's a little bit draining. 100%. You know, it takes a lot of energy. Yeah. I was actually, I think I was telling my mom this. I was like, I was just watching videos of me when I first started. And even like last year, I was like so like peppy and like full of life and like just like loving. And I'm still loving it. But I do feel like sometimes with content, it's going to be like this and you're going to love it. And then sometimes I'm like, I don't know what to talk about today. Yeah. So I'll catch myself on camera, like my tone of voice is so different and I just sound like super tired. Yeah. But like, I think that I am working in the next year. I want to just like not always feel like I have to look so polished, because I feel like I kind of fell into that this year. And when I first started, I would literally get on there after just waking up and like, I would just be disheveled and I didn't care. I was just like showing up as me. And then I think as I got doing this more, I was like, oh, I should like probably like do my hair. Is it because like as your following grew, you felt more pressure? Was it like comments or like what? Like probably. I think it was that. I think that it was also just like comparison to others. Right. But going to this next year, I just kind of want to go back to my old way of doing things where I just would show up. And people really appreciated that. Absolutely. And it was so much easier. And that's when it was like super fun. Yes. You know? Totally. It still is super fun. Yeah. No, you can have to deal with like the mental health challenges. Yeah. And be super grateful. Yeah. But it's important for people to understand that being a content creator, like you are having to put your mental health like a little bit on the line, because 100%. Like, even think about a normal office setting again. If you're comparing yourself, like, am I doing well or not? Like a lot of times you'll have like colleagues, or you have like 2 or 3 colleagues that are kind of like, I don't know, you might be like secretly comparing yourself to. Online, you have like every single possible creator to compare yourself to. Right. I mean, you know, it's just like constantly dealing with comparison. And so, yeah, I mean, I think sometimes the most successful content creators are probably dealing with like the, you know, comparison trap nonstop, actually. And so I think it's like, I know there's a whole conversation right now about how influencers aren't relatable or this or that, but like, I don't know, I really believe that like there is a universal feeling generally about, and everybody knows it, about feeling like you're not enough. And sometimes we have to remember that like influencers are constantly subjecting themselves to criticism or judgment on some things that like no one should ever be commenting on, like your skin or your body or the way you talk or like whatever it is, right? And so there is a lot that we need to be grateful for of creators, like putting yourselves out there like that. You know? I agree. I think that, I mean, I say this to my friends all the time, but like this year was like such an incredible year. I couldn't have asked for more. That like, I'm just so incredibly grateful, but it was also like the hardest year just like in here, you know, because one, no one should ever have to be staring at themselves
in a camera 24/7. And I make it worse for myself because I'm constantly like refreshing. That's another goal for 2026 is like post the content.
Put the phone refreshing down. For like views and comments.
Trying to see what the engagement's like.
Yeah.
So staring at yourself in a camera it's hard.
Yeah, it's not fun.
It's not fun. And then when people are, you know, telling you your eyebrows are like way too much, girl, you should go for a softer look or, you know, just XYZ.
Yeah.
It can be a lot. And everybody that puts themselves out there online is going to have to deal with some aspect of that because people are just so opinionated. But, you know, I actually am very lucky because my community is very, very uplifting.
Same.
I have one comment in 100 comments that it's negative.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful for that. But I think that just the whole aspect of content creation can be very taxing on the brain.
Yeah, totally. I mean, even one comment out of 100.
Yeah. I mean, it could be really mean.
1%. And that is the one comment you're thinking about for the rest of the month. You know what I mean? Like that's like, it's definitely like you're not, normally people aren't dealing with like one comment about your appearance, except for maybe from your mom or something, you know, but it's like, at least my mom. But yeah, it's not like you're like normally used to like anybody discussing these types of things.
Yeah. And like if you were in a normal work setting, hopefully you wouldn't have to deal with that. Like normally you don't. So I think that's another thing that I would say to aspiring creators is like the mute button is there for a reason. The block button is there for a reason. And this, I am a firm believer that my page should be my safe space. This is my office. Yeah. So I'm going to make it as enjoyable as I want it. And if there is somebody that's harassing me in my comments, you're blocked.
Yeah.
It's just so important to make your page a safe space for you because you have to keep showing up. Yeah. That's your office every day.
Totally.
You know?
And as well as like just curating your own feed and your own algorithm, right? And making sure it is something that like you're not going to be constantly comparing yourself to somebody. And that's just like, even if you love that person, you're inspired by that person, but if it's like not.
If it's triggering you.
Yeah, if it's triggering you in any way, it's just like you don't need it, you know? And it's important to set those boundaries.
Yeah. Being very intentional about who you're following and the content that you are consuming so that you're able to put your best foot forward when you're then creating, you know?
Yeah, totally.
And keep your mind clear.
Yeah. So you're basically, you started to get a lot of PR and then you started to work with brands.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what was that like kind of like you got management?
I got management. So I would say, I'm trying to remember when I got management. I think I got management. I started in January 2023 and I got my management company in September of 2023.
Okay.
So it happened kind of fast.
Yeah.
Then once I got in with management, I know management is kind of like taboo. Some people don't like it. Some people do like it as far as creators go. Like some creators really want to be like in charge of all of their stuff. I would not be able to do what I do without my management.
It's a lot. Yeah.
I'm just not, I'm kind of a type B person.
Yeah.
I'm not super organized.
Yeah.
And they just made things 10 times easier. But to get to that management point, I mean, posting 3 to 5 videos a day, all organic. If I wasn't really if I was doing like a brand deal, it would be like a brand deal that was paying me $100 for a post. Like it started gradually. And then I had a management team reach out. We had a conversation and then I signed with them. And then from there, it was like I was suddenly working with my dream brands.
Yeah.
Which was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're going to reach out for you and then they're also going to take care of like anybody that's coming into your inbox. But yeah, I think when I signed with my management team, that is when everything kind of like, I felt like I could quit my dance job and I was doing content full time because I just had more opportunity.
Yeah, totally. How do you think about like ads in the context of your like your posts? Like, do you ever think about like, oh, I did an ad yesterday, so I don't want to do an ad today? Or like, because we all like ads don't perform that well.
No.
You know, like just so everybody here knows.
No.
It's like from a brand standpoint and from a creator standpoint, it's like nobody's ever going to be like, oh, this ad is going to like crush it. You know, like it's not about, I don't know. It's like, it is about like getting good awareness from an ad, but it's also, I think it's super unrealistic if brands are looking at a creator's page and be like, oh, they get 50,000 views, 100,000 views, 20,000 views. And then they're like, why did this ad get 8,000 views? It's like, no, that's like what you should expect.
Yeah.
You know,
you could be a creator with 1 million followers and your ad is going to get 2,000 views.
Yeah. That is the reality. Yeah.
Because I feel like TikTok kind of now manipulates pushing ads out too. Like right now, TikTok is only really pushing out TikTok Shop. which is great.
Do you do TikTok Shop?
I do it.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I love to link a little TikTok shop because the video does really well.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
And I think too.
Not for ours yet. We have to. We're early on our TikTok Shop journey. If anybody wants to try to go viral, we'll give you a good affiliate code.
I told myself in 2026, I was like, I'm not going to be ashamed of using TikTok Shop because people are doing really well on TikTok Shop.
Crazy stat the other day, and I just don't. Like sometimes with TikTok Shop, you never know if it's just like the one story you heard and you're like, oh my God, did I hear this crazy stat the other day of someone doing a TikTok live and selling $600,000 of product in one day?
600,000. Yeah. If you do lives, I'm like, I don't even know how to do that. You have to be like a QVC.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's like some, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's like seems crazy to me. But yeah, TikTok Shop is for real.
Yeah. People are making like insane money, like 5 figures every month from TikTok Shop. It's crazy.
So that's the thing. It's like if you're an aspiring content creator, it's like become a TikTok Shop expert.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Literally.
I'm gonna dive into TikTok Shop this next year because why not? It's a tool.
Totally. Absolutely.
It's a tool.
Yeah.
And if a product I love is being sold on TikTok Shop, why not just link it?
And I feel like like we've heard on our side, we definitely hear from some of our creator friends like, oh, I don't do TikTok Shop. And then the TikTok Shop creators, which we're honestly like, we're kind of new in that world right now. So we don't have much like super figured out there, but it does feel like it's two different worlds. And I don't really quite understand it because I do feel like there's such an opportunity for the like creators in beauty, especially.
Yeah.
Who are already doing so much education. And by the way, it's not just like clickbaity. It's like real education. Like why?
Yeah.
Like that would be really good for TikTok Shop,
you
know? But I don't know. I think sometimes with skincare, it's a little harder than some of the things that are very viral, like a lip, like if it's like a lip stain or like a lip, you know what I mean? Like something like that. It's like, yeah, exactly. It's like so quick, so easy, and so like immediate, you know?
Yeah.
But I do think there's a world where skincare can do better on TikTok Shop just with like educators, you know?
100%. And you link all your...
I do, but only because of views, not because of sales. Because I know that, like, so if you go, I always tag.
Yeah.
But because I know it helps views.
Yeah.
But it's not actually helping sales.
Is it not?
No.
I felt like it was.
No, it's not. Like, we really don't do that much on TikTok Shop.
Okay.
It's just that, like, TikTok definitely seems like when we link, the views do better.
Right.
Which makes sense, you know? But we've also gotten in trouble before. Like if you like talk about something and if you like, oh, like blah, blah, lip balm and you like tag the lip balm. If it's not like really a post about the lip balm, if it's just like tangential.
Yeah.
I guess like we've gotten like, you know, kind of like not infractions, but like on the back end. Like they'll get like, oh, this post didn't actually have it. So your score went down. I don't even know. This is like our digital like leader kind of telling me this. And I'm like, I don't even know. It's so there's so much to do there.
So if I did like a get ready with me,
and
I linked one of the products out of the 20 products, I could get an infraction.
No. I think as long as you are actually it's more like I'm talking about like, let's say I did a video and I'm like, this is why, you know, we don't believe that like more expensive is better. And I'm just talking about like the whole philosophy of like formula versus packaging or something. And then I linked to lip balms, but I only like kind of generally talked about it, but I didn't actually like say, sir, my lip balm is $12 because of blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like that, they would probably flag.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like
they
have to be
strict. They are pretty strict about it. But I was talking to a couple of my creator friends and they were saying like, I think everybody's kind of in this mode where they're seeing how successful TikTok Shop is.
Yeah.
And I think the I'm never doing TikTok Shop, I think that's going to kind of start changing. Maybe.
Think so too.
I'm like more open to it now. I used to not like to do it, but.
Well, because brands, the whole thing is like beauty is an insanely competitive industry. And so all of it has become more competitive in dollars for whether it's influencer or community things or whatever. It's all gotten more stretched.
Right.
And so the social platforms have been prioritizing their own agendas, which is for you to do Facebook advertising or for you to do TikTok Shop. So they're not going to allow for an ad that you do to go viral as much.
Right.
So then a brand is going to be like, well, that wasn't as successful. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tighten my influencer contract dollars.
Yes.
So then I'm going to do more on TikTok, you know, so it's like it all forces the market to move and flow to
Right.
different things. And right now there is going to be a flow from
Right.
just like pure contact dollars to TikTok Shop for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Talking about mental health and also ads. If an ad doesn't do well, I get like the creator is like bummed too.
Totally.
Like,
Of
cause we
course.
want to show up for the brand.
Totally.
We want to show up for our audience. Like, I think you would, like, I don't take any brand deals that I don't genuinely love the product.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So like it just like really sucks when it tanks and there's nothing you can do about it.
No. Yeah. No, I think like that's whenever I on like Instagram and like in close friend story, like some of my creator friends are like, hey, I just posted an ad. Will you like engage or comment it? I always do that.
Yeah.
And just so you guys, like anybody, if you see one of your favorite creators with an ad, comment, just say like love or like something, you know, like just because it does help with engagement,
really
you know, and it shows like the brands. But honestly, most brands should know, you know.
And I think most brands that are like very aware of like, and just like very genuine, I think most brands do know that just happens with ads.
Yeah.
But some brands get mad and I'm like,
yeah, that's ridiculous. Like no brand should be getting mad on an ad not performing well.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like, it's so funny sometimes. Like, do you ever think about, do creators ever like kind of think about the brands who pay creators and the brands who don't? Like, is that like a thing? Or how do you guys think about like this brand pays, this brand doesn't pay? And like
actually pays or like they don't pay like your set rate or like.
No, like I guess like actually pays. Cause I just think about the fact that like, you know, even for us, like super transparently, I've said this to our community too. Like when we started doing our brand trips and just like all these PR mailer jobs, which are like $10,000 every month that we do these brand trips, like we obviously have to take dollars from some buckets and put it into this to like invest in the community. And so, yeah, that means like other line items in our marketing, you know, budget are just like way smaller.
Right.
And so I'm like, but I also, as a brand of our size, I'm like, well, you know, honestly, I don't even feel like we can compete with other brands, large brands ad dollars sometimes. That it doesn't feel like, I don't know. I just don't like some brands literally have like $250,000 every month that they're paying out, if not way more than that, way more than that too. Wow. So I'm like, if we could never compete with that too, then like, where do we play with contract dollars? And so then for us, it's really about like, who are the people who are like really loving our products? And then like, it's more for like opportunities to just like show our appreciation, but we're not actually doing it a lot of times for like awareness. Right. Do you know what I mean? It's because it's like we're trying to like just show our appreciation, but it's hard because it's not a large line item these days anyway. So I'm just curious like how you think about like just brands and like their budgets when it comes to influencer contracts.
I think that my favorite contracts that I do are with brands like yours, like brands that I genuinely have been talking about since day one. Yeah. I think that I have so many brands that I love that I am raving about all the time, and never get brand deals from, but I see them working with other creators. Right. And I just try and really ground myself, get back to that, you know, spot of gratitude. But it is frustrating. It can get frustrating sometimes, like depending on how much I'm like just a ride or die for this brand. And it's kind of like, why am I not enough? Yeah. You know? Totally. But I think it kind of all feeds back into just like, I think you have to be very strong and you have to like really have a lot of like strong belief in yourself because not everybody is going to reach out to work with you. Not every brand is going to be your number one fan. And the brands that do like invest in me and like are reaching out to work with me, like I value those relationships so much, like so much. And I don't know, to me, it isn't all about the brand deals. Yeah. I just want to like talk about my favorite brands that I love. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that there are like some brands who just have more money and they should pay more.
I would agree. I would agree. You know, but I think, and then that's also crazy too because everybody. I mean, there are different. I know that it's like follower. I assume the rate that you're getting is based off of followers from the brand side, right?
Yeah, I would say engagement on the organic videos and like just like community love because I will say that sometimes, especially now with TikTok, like you just never know, and like someone could have like 10 million followers on TikTok and like not as high of an engagement as somebody who has 50,000.
Mhm.
You know, like it just doesn't necessarily mean. But then a lot of times it's like they will obviously set their rates based on
Yeah.
their followers, you
Yeah.
know? So like, I don't know, you know, it's kind of a mix.
Yeah. The numbers on TikTok are like views, and I feel like follower count, all of that, like it doesn't really matter
No,
right now on
it really
TikTok.
doesn't.
It's the wild west out there. No, I agree with you. I think that some brands do have a lot of money, and
Well, especially like the prestige, like the brands that are, I will say, not affordable. Like their
Mhm.
marketing dollars are just like way, way more.
Mhm.
So I'm always like, you know, I think for any brand, it's like you have to just determine what your marketing strategy is, and like you know, kind of like what you do better than other brands, you know, and so that's why, like. I just know that like for us, we do education better. We do relationships better.
Right.
We're never going to be the brand that like pays the most or has the most amount of contract dollars. And by the way, like we have in years past paid people like not for the first time they mentioned us, but like early on just to see. And like definitely we're not about that. You know, like it's like, and I think a lot of brands have moved away from that of just like, it doesn't make sense to like pay somebody to just like talk about your product, right?
Yeah.
Like if you have like someone who's genuinely in your community who's like talking about your product and is like a supporter of your product in different ways, like that's the person. It could be like you literally talked about the mist yesterday and I would pay you just to talk about the mist again. It's more just because it's like we want to support the people who are genuinely using the product.
100%. And if they see, this is the thing too, like when it comes to like ads performing poorly, if there are certain ads that I'll do that are for products that I'm using constantly, and those will always perform because I'm actually like always using these products. And so I think investing in the people that are actually ride or dies for the product is what makes most sense. That's what it should be happening.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
Yeah. And so when I get from brand side, when we get DMs or emails from people that are like new to the brand, or sometimes it's from a manager and they'll be like, oh, like, you know, whatever, like asking for a contract. It's like, no, you know, we really don't like pay people on like the first time or even the second time. It's like we have to know that you're like a part of this, you know, you're somewhat in our world. You know, you kind of understand what we're doing. You tried our products somehow.
Right.
I mean, we're happy to gift, you know, products, obviously.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like with our dollars these days, our strategy is really like we have to be really focused with them. It's not something that like we, you know, it's just
just throw money out
there.
there.
Yeah. We just don't have that budget, you know.
But that's what sets you guys apart is like you're such an intentional brand.
Yeah.
Like in every aspect, which is so refreshing to see.
Yeah.
Because I don't see that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we really do like, I think we also like iterate, and like just because we do something one year doesn't mean we'll do it again. And like, you know, we just like constantly are asking like, can this be done better?
Right.
Is there another way? Is there a more effective use of dollars, or should we go back to doing this? You know, like we always, like one example is like last year we did a really big lip event in LA. Remember that? You were there. And like those events cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we realized like some of our most passionate, you know, community and creators, they're actually not always in LA or in New York. But if we went to, I'm making it up, like, I don't know, Houston, or if we went to Seattle or Indianapolis or whatever, we might not be able to fill the room. I'm just being honest. Like,
and that room was packed in LA.
Yeah, exactly. Like LA and New York, we will always be able to fill the room.
Yeah.
But honestly, like people always ask us to do events like at all these other places. And like the reason why we might not do that, if I'm being totally honest with you guys, is because we actually don't know if we would fill the room. And they still cost a ton of money and time, right?
Yeah.
We fly there, we spend money, we do. And then if you don't fill the room and it's like only 20 people come versus 200 people, it's like, obviously, like we can't do that with our dollars.
Yeah.
But so then honestly, we're thinking like, but LA, it's tough because we don't have like some of our like most passionate community members are not in LA. So I don't know if that like large dollar amount makes sense in like to do an event in LA right now. So we actually don't have, like, we have plenty of launches coming, but we actually don't have any launch events right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know if maybe we're going to be like, oh shoot, that was a mistake. We should have done an event there. But like for now, we're like, well, we have other things that we need to fund. You know, we have other things that we're trying to do with our whatever, like creators or community or whatever. So we have to make room for budget somehow.
Yeah.
And right now it's basically like community and all the activations we're doing there. And then of course our creators that are in our network showing support. And then, you know, it's kind of like, I don't know. That's, you know, that's the main thing, you know? So.
And I love that. I don't think I feel like brands do some sort of big party for every launch that they're doing. And it's just like, I don't know if that's needed. I like what you guys are doing because you're putting your dollars towards the people that are actually showing up for the community, you know?
Well, what's nice about it is like when we first started doing that, we thought that like some of our creators would be like turned off by or just whatever. But actually I don't feel like that's the case at all because I feel like creators are like, you also understand the need to be relatable and to be right there with your followers, your customers too. And so like, it's actually like, you know, I don't know. It's like, you don't want to only promote brands that are very like aspirational and like your followers will always be like, oh, that's too expensive or that's too, they only do this. They only take these influencers to these trips, right? Yeah. Like at a certain point that gets old too, to talk about those brands and to like always have that feeling. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think that for me, like my community, I know without a doubt, like I would not be where I'm at right now without my community. So seeing that you guys are giving back to your community in that way, like I love that because with the success that you guys are having, it's because of the people spending money on your products.
Absolutely.
And it's because of the people, like my success is coming from the people commenting on my videos and showing up for me and commenting on my ads and everything, you know? So it's like, I think that I really resonate with how much you guys get back to your community because that is the most important part. And it doesn't have to be like this big showy thing all the time.
Yeah, and you do that. Like that's what I just love about like your like appreciation for that too, because I just feel like that's when we like the creators who are closest to us like understand that, you know, and express that.
Yeah.
So it's never going to be like Kristyn's so out of touch. Right. Kristyn doesn't understand that like I don't want to spend $80 on this thing, right? It's like, you know, Kristyn understands like how to relate to me.
Right.
And that's very Coco kind too. Yeah. You know, that's our philosophy as a brand too. Right. Where we're, you know, we want to meet people where they are.
Right. Well, the way that the reason I started on TikTok was I was in school and I was also working as an esthetician. I was like, these products are so expensive. Like I can't keep spending $70 on this moisturizer. Like I can't do that. So that's when I started finding all these amazing, more affordable products. Yeah. And I was like, oh, we need to be talking about this. Like I need to spread the word. Right. Yeah. And so I just, you know, my family, I did not grow up like with any money or anything. And so like, I was always trying to find the best, you know, affordable product out there. And that's why I did what I did, you know? Yeah.
No, I mean, I think it's like so needed. And I think that you really kick-started the whole movement of just like understanding that more expensive does not mean better, especially from the creator side. Cause I feel like the brands, like obviously the brands who are more affordable, like we've been saying that, but like from creator side, it's so easy to be like just very aspirational and like going for the brands that are, you know, just like the typical brands. Right. And so to have community of creators who are making accessible, affordable beauty cool. And
it's blown up.
Like, oh my God,
it's gotten so big in the last couple.
Yeah.
I want to say like in the last year and a half. Yeah. It's gotten huge. It's everywhere.
And that makes innovation in the affordable beauty like side of things like more exciting too.
100%.
Because it's just like everything, it just like all feeds itself. Yeah. How do you feel about dupe culture? Because I was just like, you know, it's funny because I was just thinking to myself this morning as like that, like we actually don't like benefit from dupe culture at all. Like, because honestly, we're not the only product that could possibly fall into the dupe world for us is obviously our lip balms. Yeah. Because they're $12. But like I've never really seen our products talked about in like dupe culture world. And I also like, I don't, like on one hand, I think more affordable products is always better, to be honest. In terms of like, just if you were really looking at like comparable options that are like $40, sometimes products that are $80 just have more expensive ingredients, period. Yes. So that's that. But like in general, if there's like a like for like product and one of them is just more affordable because of, you know, packaging or something like that, or less margin, like I think that's great, you know, but I'm very torn on like some of the dupe culture stuff where it's like just straight up a dupe. what I mean? Like, I'm like, I don't know about that.
You mean, okay, so are we talking about like brands when they actually like full on dupe a product?
Yeah. Not like
there's a brand out there that like
do a lip balm more affordably. It's like, no, like it's like I'm
this is a copy paste.
Look like this expensive product at like a $5 price point. Like exactly like the product.
Okay, so that kind of duping, I think is insane.
Yeah.
And I'm not like a huge fan of it. No.
Yeah.
I think it's a little insane because I think that every brand should have their own thing. And when you're just fully like blatantly taking something and making it like the same packaging.
Yeah.
The same, whatever, not the same formula because I don't think they are the same formulas. Maybe they are similar. I think it's crazy.
I just think the same packaging thing is weird. Just like,
no, it's
you know,
weird.
like, because that like starts to get into like weird like IP infringement. Like, I just feel like you can do that same product at $5 or whatever the dollar is, but just like make it different, you know, make it look different or like, I just think the copying of packaging looks is really strange.
I 100% agree.
Like, that part is like, I can get down with all of it except for like trying to look like you're that product.
Right.
You know, because then that seems a little bit dubious, you know?
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of it. I just want, it feels mean to me. Like we're just going to fully copy your whole entire idea.
Yeah.
You know? But like in duping culture, like I do a lot of videos where it's like, okay, like if you wanted to try this outrageous $50 mist, try this one instead, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's my whole thing is like I want to give you an affordable option that I think you'll love. That's similar to this product, but it's not an exact dupe. I always say it's similar or comparable.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and the tough part about beauty is like you can really have just more affordable, like it's tough because tough part about beauty is like you can have actually just more affordable comparable formulas that are just like literally half the price, but you can also just have, you know, cheaper formulas and you can also just have dupes, you know, that are like just trying for the appearance of it all, and it's really hard for consumers to actually decipher this is a more affordable version. And sometimes like, you know, people will dupe something or they'll compare it to something that is more expensive and it's because of the texture or it's because of the color. It's not necessarily because of the formula. Like a good example of this is like people will compare our water cream to I think the Tatcha water cream or something. I've actually never tried that product, but like the you know the formula I'm
they're
sure the formula is going to
be
completely different, but I think it's people just like comparing the texture, and that's like that's like, so people, I don't know, it's
do
like
they dupe that?
They just, I don't know if it's they say it's a dupe, but they just say like if this is like an affordable water cream,
right?
You know,
yes,
which I think like
I'm a way bigger fan of you.
Same.
I also don't. Yeah, I mean, like for a water cream, I feel like you guys just like really hit it. Like you just really did it right.
I will say it feels luxurious, you know, whatever that means, I guess. It just feels like it, you know, it like the slip and everything is so nice. But but it's not, it's like we weren't trying to dupe that product.
Right.
But we did know that like that type of moisturizer, that feeling was oftentimes like, I guess like related towards more expensive products.
Yeah.
So if we could do it and have that really nice feeling at a much lower price point, then it would be great. But again, it's just creating a really good product in a more affordable price range versus like duping something.
100%.
But overall, like I think if I had to pick like one side at the end of the day, I would still pick the side of just like having more affordable beauty is still like a huge win for consumers.
No, absolutely. You know? Absolutely. I'm not just saying this. My probably entire routine is made up of all of the more affordable products because they work great.
Yeah, they work great.
They're very effective.
Yep.
And I mean, like, I'm going through those products. Like, those are the products like I am finishing. I always am finishing my affordable products before my more high-end products.
Yeah.
So I mean, killing it right now.
Yeah.
Affordable beauty.
I mean, the reality is like that most of the quote unquote mass brands, like the affordable brands, like we just have a lower gross margin than the other brands at Sephora and, you know, the more expensive brands. Like that's just what it is like we just make less money and we have therefore less money for marketing. Right. So you might not see as crazy of like, I mean, whenever I see an affordable skincare brand or makeup brand with like crazy marketing budgets and campaigns, I'm like, okay, they just make a ton of money. Like it's just like they're just banking on all the line items. But the reality is like just more affordable brands, like they oftentimes just have less room for like other, budget, but because the dollars are mostly going into the product.
But it's also really cool to me that you guys, like, I feel like you guys are, like, Coco Kind, I'm always seeing you guys doing something, whether it's for the community, whether it's for, like, you're here with your team right now. Like, you guys are always doing something to, like, make the brand so special.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to cost a ton of money to do that either, know?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just try to be thoughtful.
Yeah.
I'm
sure it does cost a lot of money to do all the things
it does cost a lot of money.
Yeah, 100%. The brand trips, the PR mailers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's expensive.
Yeah. I mean, and it's important for us to do marketing at the end of the day. It's just that our marketing budgets are not as big as a lot of other brands. But like marketing is incredibly important because if we don't market, then we might not live to our potential. We might not grow. If we don't grow, we're shrinking. Nobody wants to shrink in this industry where it's so competitive because if you shrink and you shrink and shrink, you shrink down to zero.
Right.
Like that's the reality. It's like this is a very competitive industry. If you're not growing, you're shrinking.
Speaking of, you grew so much. This year was like Coco Kind.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
It was so good.
We feel really lucky that we just had a really. That's partially why our team is here in Vegas right now. It's just
celebrating,
kind of like a celebration, especially after last year, which wasn't a home run year for us, if I'm being honest. And there was just a lot that we were figuring out from like an innovation standpoint, a marketing standpoint, just like refiguring out our brand identity, and like we just had a lot of things to figure out. This year was for the most part, not home runs across the board because honestly, there's so much headwind. There's some like tariffs and this and that, tariffs. And Target had a whole bunch of issues.
Yeah,
like
the Target.
Yeah. Like we had a lot of we still had a lot of issues I guess you always do, in business. But we had so many wins in the best ways that felt really good for us and natural to us. And that was it wasn't, sometimes you have wins that are surprising. Yeah. And, that just happens, but sometimes you have wins that you've worked so fucking hard for. Right. And that's what this year was. So I don't even regardless of the numbers, because there was a lot of pain points throughout the year, just coming out of that and having this win that we've worked so hard for. That's why I wanted to have a celebration for our team at the end of the year. And they've been getting really sick of all these San Francisco retreats. They're like, okay, we get it.
Because they're not all in San Fran, are they?
No, they're not. So doing Vegas was fun for us.
That's so much fun. Yeah, it was hit after hit this year with the product,
and hopefully next year we'll see.
I think
we're still trying
after hit.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, knock on wood. Well, thank you so much for being my first creator guest. This was awesome, and hopefully help to break down a little bit of the conversation between brands and creators, and also break down some of the misconceptions that I feel like creators deal with nonstop.
Yeah, for sure.
If there's anything we would take away, I would say be kind to your favorite creators online because Kristyn said, the internet is their workspace, which is so wild.
Yeah. I show up, I'm on there constantly, but this is my actual job, you know?
It's an actual job, tons of energy, tons of time, support ads, and don't comment on people's appearances, please, things like that. I really believe in that.
Yeah. And just for anybody aspiring to do it, just do it. Yeah. Confidence comes with practice. You will.
So true.
The more you show up and invest in yourself and invest in this new craft, you're going to find more success. And it's so doable. It's just the amount of work you put into it, just like anything else. So
I totally believe that most people are not born good at social media. You have to train yourself and you have to just show up and do it and do it and do it until it's starts to become second nature. Most people are not born to know how to show up on camera.
No, I mean, you can go look back in 2023 and you'll see it's a completely different person, but you grow into who you're going to be as a creator. And I really, it's so much fun. And I really think that anybody can do it if you're putting in the consistent work.
I agree. Okay, so just go do it. Just do it. Okay, awesome. Well, thanks everybody for joining, and we'll see you in 2 weeks or so. Bye.